Silksong is finally here, and to celebrate, I decided to Pokemonify Hornet, including custom move animations and abilities based off her moveset from Silksong. Let's start off with her typing. Her primary typing was pretty clear to me. Hornet is agile, has a lot of physical moves, and a lot of martial prowess, making fighting type the obvious choice. But for her secondary typing, I had a few options to weigh up. We could go with Fairy. Her father was the Pale King, and while it's not an exact match, Fairy type is the most related to Light, but nah, that didn't seem quite right. How about the Steel type? Many of Hornet's tools, including her needle, are probably made of pale ore, which seems to be a kind of metal. You could easily argue this would make sense, and there are examples of Pokemon like Tinkaton who are classed as a Steel type just because they have a metal weapon, but outside of this one exception, Steel didn't feel like the right choice. And that left me with the Bug type. Pretty much every character in Hollow Knight is Bug or Bug adjacent, and Hornet is no different. At first I thought this was too obvious to be good, but weighing up the other options, this definitely felt like the best fit. So there we are, Hornet will be a fighting Bug type. Now let's move on to her special ability. Special abilities are a great way to really embody a character's essence and make them unique. For Hornet, I honed in on a mechanic present in Hollow Knight, which I thought would make a neat ability. I'm calling it Needlework. If the user lands 4 attacks in a row on the same target, the target will automatically flinch next turn. Just like the real game, if you get enough hits in on a boss, it staggers, letting you heal or go in for more damage. And finally, let's take a look at her moveset. I identified 8 unique moves from the trailer that I wanted to Pokemonify. Needle Slash, 70 power, 100 accuracy, physical, grants 1 silk. This is Hornet's bread and butter move. Not too strong, not too weak. Basically a slash clone, but instead of crit chance, it will give her silk each time it hits. Silk will be required for some of her stronger moves, which we'll cover shortly. Hone Needle, raises attack by 2 stages, gives Needle Slash a 10% chance to burn. Just like in the game, this buffs Hornet's damage. The burn effect isn't in Silksong, at least from what I've seen, but I felt it was a fitting way to make this move a bit more unique. And this also slightly alters Needle Slash's animation. Silk Harpoon, 60 power, 100 accuracy, physical, +1 priority, and raises evasion by 1 stage. This flashy gap closer embodies Hornet's acrobatics. Originally it also granted 1 silk, but that felt a bit overpowered since it already had quick attack like priority and an evasion boost to boot, so I toned it down just a bit. Dagger Throw, 15 power per hit, hits 1 to 6 times. 95 accuracy, physical. This one is pretty straightforward, similar to Double Slap, except this one can hit 1 to 6 times instead of 1 to 5. It doesn't grant extra silk or any other benefits, but it can still come in clutch if you gamble for that full 6 hits, which will deal 90 damage. Silk Bind, heals 60% HP, requires 3 silk, -2 priority. This is the first move that requires silk to use. It heals for a hefty amount, although having a -2 prio means it'll almost always be used last. This is to mirror the gameplay of Silksong. Healing without an opening is often punished, so this encourages Hornet to first trigger her passive stagger if they want to get a heal off before getting hit that turn. Needle Rush, 50 power, 100 accuracy, physical. +2 prio, sets the foe's move accuracy to 0 for this turn, requires 1 silk. In Silksong, Hornet's dash attack causes her to become immune to damage while she dashes through attacks. In Pokemon, you can't really attack at the same time, so to replicate this effect, this move has a +2 priority, meaning it will almost always go first, and has the unique effect of reducing the foe's move accuracy to 0 for the rest of the turn. Silk Spear, 95 power, 95 accuracy, special. May cause flinch, requires 2 silk. This move hits pretty hard and has a decent amount of knockback based off the trailers, so to simulate that, I gave it a 50% chance of causing flinch on top of having a respectable 95 power. Gossamer Storm, 120 power, 100 accuracy, special. Hits all foes. This is definitely one of Hornet's signature moves, even before her Silksong kit was revealed. Since this is a 360-degree move, I gave it the ability to hit 2 targets at once, similar to Rock Slide, and as it's one of Hornet's flashiest moves, a big 120 power to match it. The downside, of course, is you'll need 3 silk before you can cast it. At the time of writing this, Silksong isn't actually out yet, so all of these moves and name effects are purely based off trailers, and I'm sure once I've got my hands on the game, there'll be hundreds of other ideas for moves and effects. Let me know down in the comments if you have any move ideas of your own. And if you do like this type of Pokemon crossover, I have a lot of other indie game characters I've Pokemonified, so feel free to check them out over on my channel. As for me, I have some Silksong to go binge. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.